Today, people talk endlessly about identity. In the space of social media, everyone seems to have a theory about who they are, how they should be seen, what role they occupy, and what exactly defines them. Identity has become one of the central words of modern culture. And this is not entirely strange, because identity really does shape much of human life. We are not exactly the same person in every situation. With our parents, we often become one version of ourselves. With friends, another. At work, a third. With a partner, yet another. In public, we may be more controlled. In private, more vulnerable. In conflict, one mask appears. In love, another. The collection of these roles, habits, reactions, and social masks is what most people usually call the self. But this raises a deeper and more uncomfortable question. What does the world actually look like through the prism of our own real self? Or to put it more sharply, how much of what we call ourselves is actually ours? This question matters because many of our roles contain a degree of inauthenticity. Sometimes we do not say what we truly think. Instead, we say what is expected from us. Sometimes we behave politely, diplomatically, obediently, or strategically. Not because that is our nature, but because the situation rewards it. Sometimes we perform a role that we secretly dislike, but continue playing because it brings approval, safety, money, or social acceptance. And if that is true, then the problem is larger than behavior alone. Because if our roles are partly false, then our worldview is also partly shaped by what is not truly ours. The way we see life, other people, relationships, success, morality, and even ourselves may be filtered through expectations imposed on us from outside. Family expectations, professional expectations, cultural expectations, religious expectations, social expectations, algorithmic expectations. Little by little, a person starts living not from the center of the self, but from the pressure of external scripts. This is why learning to express yourself is not simply a matter of confidence or communication technique. It is a philosophical and psychological task. Before a person can express themselves honestly, they must first discover what in them is genuine, and what is only repetition, adaptation, or fear. That is difficult, because many people confuse adaptation with identity. They become so used to performing certain roles that they no longer notice where the role ends and the real person begins. They may spend years saying what sounds correct, acting as they are supposed to act, choosing what others admire, and slowly losing contact with their own inner position. This is one reason honesty is so important. Honesty is not only moral, it is diagnostic. It reveals where a person is still alive and where they are merely acting. A person who is honest with themselves begins to notice uncomfortable facts. Which conversations feel false? Which roles feel humiliating? Which obligations feel alien? Which relationships require performance rather than presence? And once those things become visible, expression begins to change. Real self-expression is not endless talking. It is not dramatic oversharing. It is not aggressive authenticity for its own sake. It is much quieter and much harder than that. It means speaking in a way that does not betray your actual perception. It means refusing to constantly translate yourself into what other people want to hear. It means allowing your speech, values, and actions to come into better alignment. This does not mean becoming rude or socially blind. Human life always involves some degree of tact, restraint, and adaptation. But there is a difference between tact and falseness. Tact protects relationships. Falseness slowly destroys the self. The modern world makes this harder because social media rewards performance. People learn very quickly which version of themselves gets approval, which tone attracts validation, which identity gets attention, which opinions are safe and which emotions are marketable. In such a system, expression easily becomes theater. The danger is obvious if a person constantly expresses only what is rewarded. Then eventually they may forget what they actually think. That is why self-honesty must come first. A person needs moments of silence in which no audience is present. No role, no performance, no reaction. Only then does something more real begin to appear. What do I actually believe? What do I really value? Which parts of my life feel true, and which parts feel borrowed? Which identities are alive, and which are only costumes? These questions are uncomfortable, but necessary. Because if cultural pressure, family pressure, religious pressure, professional pressure, and digital pressure all shape us at once, then without conscious effort, we may end up living almost entirely through borrowed forms.